In this video, we're going to discuss the Spawn Locator behavior. So, as you can see, I'm at a hospital in the middle of the city. There's a lot of activity going around me, and I want to go into the hospital. So I'm just going to approach the hospital here. And you can see right away, those doors are not really doors, right? I can't go up to those and interact with them like I would an opening door, right? But I still need to get inside the hospital. So as I approach the hospital, what's going to happen is I'm going to teleport into the next level. So let's do that. All right, so now we're in the hospital. We've teleported into the next level, which is the interior of the hospital. We can see we have a waiting room here with some people waiting for the doctor. There's clearly some sort of outbreak happening here. This guy doesn't look too good. And there are two exits here, right? So I could go back. Actually, there's three. I could go back out the way I came, or I could come through here and I could go to the left, or I could go to the right. What we want is to be able to exit this building and come out at a reasonable place, right? We wouldn't want to start back in the parking lot necessarily, at least not where I started initially, because that wouldn't make any sense. We want to be able to be on the other side of this door, or at least create the illusion that we are. So let's go to the back. We're going to go out this door, and that'll take us to the back parking lot. Okay, so we're back outside. We can see some police officers over there having a little conversation. This is kind of the back parking lot. We can circle around to the other side of this, and there's that other doorway. So if I go inside that door, I'll go back in, and I'll end up on that side of the hospital, not the side that I came out of. So let's do that. There we go. See, this is the side of the room that I entered in at, opposed to the other side where the door goes to the back. So there's different entrances, different exits, and the spawn locator is what is allowing us to dictate where it is that we teleport to and land in and begin in our next level. So let's go take a look and see how all that works. All right, so we're going to start out here in the parking lot because it's kind of where it all begins. Now you can see that this hospital is all just one big model, right? And I've got a trigger zone here. Click on that trigger zone and click on the behavior, and you can see this is the spawn locator behavior. It doesn't really take much. It only takes one parameter, which is my spawn markers, which is a user global that you need to create, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. But you're going to type in there just like what I have here, and I'll put this on the screen in bigger font so you can see it. My spawn markers, plural. Okay, that's what it's looking for. So you need that variable there. And you need the player start to be in that zone so that it activates that zone and tells it, hey, you need to go look around and find the spawn markers in this level. So that's what it's doing now. Okay. Then we have this little dude right here, which is just a spawn marker. Now this is an object. You can go and click on this and look for spawn marker, and you'll find him in there. So he's just an object. And in and of himself, he doesn't actually do anything. It's just like I said, just a 3D object like anything else. Doesn't even have a behavior attached. It's shown at the start of the level, which you don't want. You'll see that this marker is not shown at the start of the level. So you want the marker to be hidden and placed at the location where you want the player to appear when that spawn marker is utilized. Now, you'll also notice that I've got a trigger zone here, and on this trigger zone is teleport. So as I walked into the building, what I did was I walked past this guy, which was invisible, walked into the teleport zone, and that gave me an instant teleport to the teleport location that I've chosen down here. I have covered teleport before. Things have changed since that video, so I'm just going to go through this behavior real quickly and show you how this works as well, because it is needed for the spawn locator to work. So we have the teleport zone height, which is just how far above the zone the teleporter will work. Then you have the teleport type. We can do instant teleport, we can do a delayed teleport, or we can do a delayed with a countdown displayed. And we can make that either a single-use teleport or a reusable teleport, which in our case, we want to be able to come in and out of the hospital, so it's reusable. Teleport delay only matters if you choose one of the delayed options there. Teleport effect. I covered this in that previous episode, which I'll link right here. And I need to recover all this separately because I think I did like 8 different motion related behaviors in one video. This is early days in my channel, and so I'll have to go back and revisit those. So a lot's changed, and it would be nice to focus in on just one at a time. But suffice it to say, these are effects that the camera does. I'm not going to demonstrate in this video because I think we're just getting out of scope, but play around with these. In my case, I've got none. Teleport exit angle. That has to do with the direction at which you're exiting the scene. The teleport particle name, this is a placeholder text. I don't have any particles in this scene, so you can just leave that alone. If you have a particle, you want to reference the name of that particle here so that it knows which particle to use. And that would really only matter if you were choosing particle as the effect. So again, may not be important for what you're doing. The player level is a level gating feature. So in other words, if you don't want your level to be able to access where this teleport goes to until they've reached a level in their experience, then you would want to level gate it here, saying the player can only access once they've reached, let's say, level 3, for example, which is based on their experience level. If you want to know more about that, you'll want to take a look at the video I did on the player HUD. To learn more about experience and how that variable works. The destination, we have local destination or level destination. Local means local to this level. So if I wanted to teleport from here to the back of the hospital, I could do that and it's local to this level. Or I could choose level and that means I'll go to another level. And our interior level is different than our exterior level. So that's where I wanted to go, is I wanted to end up on a different level. The spawn marker user global is my spawn marker. So now we're ticking and tying this teleporter to the spawn locator behavior, which is what this video is about, of course. So this ticks and ties it back, gives it something to, reference in terms of that my spawn marker location. The spawn marker name is main interior. So I can't show you that right this minute because main interior exists on the next level at the entrance of the interior of the level. So in other words, if I were to go back out of those doors that I went into initially, I would be going to this zone, and this zone, or this marker, I should say, is called main entrance, right? So when we get to the other level and I click on that trigger zone, it'll be referencing main entrance, which puts me here. So when we look at this one, it's asking, where am I going? And so I'm referencing a main interior as opposed to a main exterior. And then we have the go to level mode. So because I've chosen level, I need to specify what level. Now there's only the 2 levels in this standalone. So I've chosen, to navigate to the interior. From here, obviously, it would be the reverse if I'm coming from inside to the outside. The checkbox for reset states means if I exit the hospital, should all of the states be reset? So let's suppose I had a fight scene on the exterior of the hospital. I killed all the bad guys. I went into the hospital to get some medicine. I come back out. Should all those enemies respawn or should they still be dead? That's the state of things. And then we have the sound triggers. Now, again, I find it useful to just usually to refer to the text up here to say what the sound does, because he usually is pretty good about leaving a note for what each sound is for. So this one says, we'll play sound 0 for local teleports to location of, of the object you connected with the zone. And then it'll play sound 1 for level teleport. So it's just which sound is going to play depending on where you're going. So that's teleport. That was a lot to cover as a side note, but it's important to understand how teleport works because it works in conjunction with Spawn Locator. So now I'm going to quickly transition over to the interior so we can see the rest of it. Real quick, before we get to the interior, I did want to fulfill a promise I made earlier on where I'd show you how to make the variable for that. So let me just show you that real quick and then we'll get into the interior. So what you need is a user-defined global there and just conjure one up. And you can see here that the value right now, it's this custom value and it's a 0, which is really just a placeholder. You want to make this my spawn markers and press enter. That's really important. If you don't press enter, then it's not going to save it into memory and then it's not going to be there. So you absolutely need to make sure you do that. But that's all you got to do is just conjure this thing. And then once you've done that, then it's there. Now, in my case, I've got it right here. You can see my spawn markers was already a value. And notice that it's on the screen, but I've hidden it. So I've basically just ticked this box here. And that will cause it to add this little H here, which tells you that it's hidden. It's been there the whole time. That's how we used it. But it was hidden so you couldn't see it. All right, so now we're on the interior of the hospital, and our start marker essentially is always going to be one of these orange ones, depending on which of the zones, which are the entrances that we're coming in. But we still need a spawn locator behavior on this level. So if we just step out here, we have our player start marker inside of the zone marked spawn locator. This is important. Every level that you're using this on, it needs this so it knows how to reference the my spawn markers variable and look for those little spawn markers and understand where they are and where to put you based on the teleporters. So here's our spawn marker, main interior. So remember when I came into the hospital from the outside, I was referencing the main interior. That's this object, which again is not shown at level. You don't want this shown because otherwise it'd just be a little orange dude standing there. It'd be kind of weird. And then we have another teleport here. And just like I said before, all these other things are pretty much set up the same way. The difference is I'm referencing main entrance, which is the spawn marker on the outside facing the other direction. So all that is set up the same way, and it just rinses and repeats over here. So you have interior markers for carport interior, and we also have for slide door interior. I mean, these, it doesn't matter what you name it, just name something that makes sense to you so you can keep things straight. There's nothing outside, right? If I go through this door, nothing, right? It's teleporting me to the exterior level in the location that I told it to put me. And that's it. That's the spawn locator behavior explained. I want to also mention that this is only one possible use case. That is often the case with my videos, is that I demonstrate one way to use something, but it's by no means the only way to use something. And I wanted to explain another possible use case for this. There's probably a dozen more I'm not thinking of, but let's suppose we have a scene where I'm having to fight a horde of zombies, right? And I die. If I respawn at the same location as I died, then all those zombies may still be there. And now I may be stuck in a death loop where I can't recover fast enough before I die again. And that's frustrating. These spawn markers could be used to say, okay, if that scenario does take place, if the player dies at this point, suppose they fall into a pit and there's no escape, something like that, then start them off here. And that way they don't have to start the beginning of the level again. They don't have to start in the pit and die again over and over again. They can start someplace relatively safe that's not the beginning and carry on. So that's another possible use case for this sort of thing. If you have another suggestion, by all means, leave that in the comment below. If you enjoyed the video or if you learned anything new, please be sure to click the like button down below. If you're new here, if you just haven't subscribed yet, would love to have you stick around. And if you'd like a notification for whenever new videos are posted, just click the bell icon and that'll let you know when a new video is ready. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I always appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, don't forget there's a written guide for every behavior, including ones I haven't yet covered on this channel. And if you want to learn some more, why don't you check out this video next.